2-1 in favor of NaNiwa. It's okay. No, I'm Day 9.
And I'm Apollo.
And I literally cannot express how much I love my job right now. It's NaNiwa Vs Flash. I'm casting with you, D Apollo. The first map is going to be Metropolis.
You almost knocked my headset off.
Well, it's okay. I'm literally so excited and so strong because I'm exercising lately.
Oh, there they are.
Both of these players are more than willing to do any range of possibilities. Flash with the proxy Hellion drop in the first game they played. NaNiwa with the one-base proxy Robo in game 3 to take the win. Anything could happen, and the first map is going to be the largest.
This is going to be an extended series. NaNiwa has a 2-1 lead in a best-of-7. It's as simple as it needs to be.
I just can't believe that this is real life, getting a chance to see them play again. The good luck, have fun, good games have been exchanged, and it's time to hit it off. The extended series begins, a best-of-7 between NaNiwa and Flash, with NaNiwa leading 2-1.
The winner of this guarantees themselves top 6 in this MLG. That's a massive victory, a minimum of $3,000 banked. It is time, it is time, it is time.
Spawning in the left position. Yeah, I'll wait for you. And there he is. Spawning in the left position. Arguably the most successful professional gamer of all time. The god of Brood War. The ultimate weapon, KT's Flash.
He is not taking any crap this time around, Day 9. His opponents spawning here on the right-hand side, the red Protoss, the red Swede, it is NaNiwa.
NaNiwa just doing a conservative pylon main base, and of course not scouting at the start of the game with it. Just wants to keep that back home, get a few extra bits of minerals. On this map, the distances are pretty huge, but it's pretty easy to scout out all the potential proxy locations, particularly for proxy pylons.
And one thing to note in this extended series, in this best-of-7 with NaNiwa leading 2-1, is that a lot of mind games are going to happen. There's quite a few games coming. Flash has a lot of experience in long, drawn-out games against opponents. He can break them mentally. He can choose the right builds. And we'll see if he's going to be able to do it here with an already supply depot barracks, supply depot wall in to hide and protect what he potentially could be doing behind.
Both these players are extremely meticulous when it comes to preparation. I'm sure many of you saw on camera Flash with a ruler. Flash at all his events measures the precise angle of his mouse, keyboard, the distance from the edge of the table to the front of his keyboard to make sure that everything feels identical to the practice setup at home. NaNiwa, a player who's known for doing hundreds of repetitions of a single deviation of a build order, has all his build orders written out in his notepad. Seriously, the amount of thought that both these players put into every minute decision is astounding. NaNiwa going for an interesting gateway first, followed by a expand and then a cybernetics core on 18. It gets you still quite a fast warp gate.
It does. It's a nice economy-focused build. Likewise is Flash going for a command center inside the main base here. And this is exactly the same opening that we saw NaNiwa use on Daybreak in the initial series. This time Flash not being the aggressor. He's going to be sitting back. He will be expanding, but NaNiwa's going to have a difficult time getting info on what is actually going on. He's going to scout late. The Marines are going to shoot down the probe, and he will have really no idea whether this is an expansion, whether it's gas first, whether it's gas after the barracks, and this will force him into playing very reactionary and maybe too cautious.
NaNiwa, though, interestingly, doesn't scout as much as... Actually, he probably scouts least of any Protoss that I've ever seen. He relies more on timing. So even though Flash is trying to be Mr. Sneaky Pants by hiding his command center in his main base, NaNiwa generally has these deviations prepared for. So rather than scouting, he'll say something like, okay, I attack it this time. And if he goes for an early expand, he'll defend this way. And if not, he'll defend that way. And it's that fashion that NaNiwa is able to get his scouting done.
And it looks like Flash is going to send in an SCV here to get some more info on what's going on in this game. He does see the expansion, and his SCV will fall down. Checks the probe count, relatively low, but that's a decently timed down Nexus, so he knows just because of the Nexus timing there, this is a relatively fast Nexus, probably the same as he saw earlier on Daybreak. NaNiwa going to attempt the same thing. Sees a handful of Marines, and just because of the Marines there, the way they're acting, or not acting in this case, he will be able to realize that there will be an expansion coming down. No form of all-in or one-base attack.
Now, the secret to Flash's opening is that he's keeping the command center back, so he's losing a lot of money from the expand. However, he's cutting the bunker. This allows him to build his 2 extra barracks early, allows him to build his 2 refineries early, but what does he do with all that lost money? He gets these 2 early reactors, and it's the reactor tech while it's building. That's when Flash is able to catch up on his money spending, but NaNiwa still doing another aggressive push. It's exactly the right play.
And NaNiwa trying to get in there while this bunker is down, and Flash in a bit of trouble here. 3 Stalkers being microed pretty well here. The Zealot gets in a little slice.
What? It looks like Flash was not quite prepared for this level of aggression at this time. Just a simple 4 units, and most of these Marines end up falling down. NaNiwa, look at the units lost tab. That is 8 Marines. Or excuse me, that is 7 Marines and an SCV.
Yep. Pretty good micro there. Flash doesn't really need a second bunker, but it gets a couple of... well, never mind. Hold that thought. Doesn't matter. As we see the gases coming down here for NaNiwa, and we'll be going up to that robotics bay and tech, such as the single forge in this game. Single forge most likely aiming towards an armor upgrade initially on. The Colossus do a lot of damage as it is, and you want to keep the units in front to keep the Colossus alive for longer here, which is what he's aiming for.
So Flash, by going for this really, really, really early double refinery play, he's able to both get the double reactor and the early stim, but more importantly, get out the fast starport medevacs, and then he can do this aggressive Marine-focused medevac pushing. NaNiwa has the perfect answer in mind. He's going for the very fast Colossus. It's generally considered quite risky to stick to just 2 gateways, but of course NaNiwa used those aggressively to scout what his opponent was up to.
NaNiwa throwing down actually in the main base 3 more gateways, going to a total of 5. Not too much to read into that. It is just standard to be able to go to 5. If he was to throw down a lot more gateways, we could get a little bit concerned, but he is increasing that count so we can start to defend against the inevitable Terran push that will be happening as soon as these medevacs are out. +1 is on the way, combat shields as well to align all the stars together. But we are about to have an observer enter the main base of Flash. Is he going to recognize it? Is he going to see it? Is he going to stop it?
So NaNiwa, you can tell, is starting to prepare not just for a defense, but for a potential counter push as well, as he started to already create several Zealots. And notice this Flash is moving out long before his medevacs are done, because they're so fast. He wants to have them be able to join up together. But NaNiwa, great spotting, sees everything, and Flash is heading forward.
Yeah, Flash is heading forward here. First Colossus is out. There is a couple of sentries here that will allow the Force Fields to slice this up. And he should be fine here. We may see some threat towards that 3rd Nexus, but overall NaNiwa should be fine as long as he does hit his Force Fields. And in comes Flash, and NaNiwa just with 2 sentries, a bunch of Zealots, and a Colossus.
NaNiwa's in a little bit of a dicey position. He just needs to make sure Flash doesn't end up spotting that 3rd. Colossus getting a little bit far forward. Even though it does turn those Marines into little piles of sticky lava, it's still very vulnerable to getting surrounded.
All right, Thermalite's very close to finishing. 2nd Colossus is out. 3rd one is started. Oh, Flash. He's going to send a Marine down or 2 Marines down. He's going to spot it. He may want to stim down, snipe it, and get out as it's right near completion. And
my God, the debris are just now finishing. An incredibly thin timing. Oh, gosh, that gives me that little anxious feeling in my tummy. NaNiwa just barely getting that up in time, and still he has to have the strong defense.
And is he going to go for it? Is Flash going to go for it here? No, he's not. He realizes that NaNiwa could come at any time he spots it. He's going to aim for the Colossus.
Will he be able to get the force? An amazing set of force fields. He has the front line of Marines annihilated. The back lines are being targeted down with the Colossus. NaNiwa seems to have the perfect answer, and here come the Stalkers. Flash's classic timing push has been actually thwarted extremely solidly by NaNiwa, who's now on 3 bases as well.
He's getting an Immortal out right now because there are quite a few Marauders in there. Blink is on its way as well. 3 Colossus, though, versus only a handful of Vikings. The Stalkers have to bring them down. And if they do, these Colossus will remain alive.
NaNiwa needs to start microwaving those back. Nope. Darts right on ahead. Picks off the Colossus, and down in the bottom left corner, Flash has managed to begin an expansion himself, but NaNiwa, look at this great transitioning, starting to pull back out of the Colossus tech, going for Immortals, has the double forge up, and even has the Twilight Council started. This means that NaNiwa can begin that essential transition into the Templar tech, but Flash isn't done yet.
Oh, he's dropping inside the main base here, and that was a cheeky little move there as he picks up and will get out as well. Did bring down a structure, a gateway, and will return back, but a little bit of damage done from Flash. But one thing to note is, as a Protoss player, a general rule is do not expand until Terran has. In this game, NaNiwa has reversed the rules of this matchup, and because of that, is in fantastic shape. He has 2-2 on the way. He can immediately throw down the Templar Archives and should be aiming to do so any second now, and start to build up towards what it seemed to be Flash's weakness in the initial series, which was Ghosts. He didn't use them. So if NaNiwa is able to get up to that comfortably, and he is so far, then he could be doing extraordinarily well in this series.
Yeah, and NaNiwa is one of the few players who doesn't do the traditional look of PvT. Normally you sit back and defend for an eternity until you're at 3-3, until you have all your tech completed, but NaNiwa is always willing to do these poke forwards. He'll move forward with an army and send a little probe out, establish a forward little pylon, begin the little attack colony forward by the Terran base. And Flash is at an unusually difficult impasse. Normally the Terran player wants to be getting aggressive. I'm talking a lot about NaNiwa's play, but Flash, looking back at his play, he does have the double starport tech up, but he's going to be in a very dangerous position as he is behind on Ghost. NaNiwa adding on more gateways.
He doesn't even have the Ghost Academy down. It's not even down yet. Again, I mean, Flash has done this and shown this, that it was the reason why he lost to NaNiwa in the first place. In that first game on Daybreak, but it's still not present. He will be able to split, spread, and move his units away from the storm, but at the end of the day, NaNiwa's not a player that misses frequently, and things are getting quite tense here. So far, so equal between them.
This is going to be a really close fight. What's the Marine count at? 30 Marines, 22 Marauders. Not going to be the optimal composition against what NaNiwa is playing. There's about to be Colossus number 5 out. An attempted drop in the main.
There is no storm either. There's actually no high tempo. Only 2 just getting walked in. I suppose they'll go straight to an Archon as well because the fight is about to start here.
And there's the drop up in the main base, and it looks like, oh, NaNiwa is caught at an awkward angle. Can he warp in enough? He does lose a single Colossus, and there we see the drop in the main base doing some considerable damage, but NaNiwa is not overreacting.
And here comes the main fight in the army. The Colossus doing a lot, but look how many Vikings there are.
Oh
the Archons
my
have
God!
Splash damage.
Archons are starting to do some big splash damage, but the number of Colossus is plummeting down to nada. All the Zealots in the main do manage to clean up the drop, but Flash continues to shove forward in classic macro style.
Oh my, well, NaNiwa, is he going to be able to hold on here? That's a lot of bio. But still, we do not see Storm being researched. Another drop on the natural, but still no Storm research. +2 attack is near completion with +3 armor on the way. Flash is keeping up the pressure here. Ghost Academy is coming down in the production tab as we see, but NaNiwa's in a bit of a difficult position. There we do see Storm finally starting, so High Tempo will be brought into the game now as we see 4 more being morphed in, but we are going to have another double drop to the main base.
Gosh, NaNiwa needs to have that strong defense to pull this off. Those cannons will only buy a couple of seconds. Storm now finally being researched. More cannons being planted for NaNiwa. Like you were saying, ordinarily you never see a Protoss on 3 base this early, but you do see Protosses gearing up for 4ths and 5ths by this time in a lot of circumstances. But Flash just is not letting NaNiwa do that.
And the
oh my God, the engagement in the center of the map. Flash may have left a little bit too much up in the air, and there it looks like Flash doing the big drop in the main base. Does NaNiwa have a warp in? He does have a full set of warp ins in the back of the base to be able to deflect this push. There's the feedback on one of the medevacs, and in the middle of the map, a death force for NaNiwa lies.
And another drop on the 3rd base here coming down. Feedbacks go down on the medevacs. Cannons and Stalkers may be enough. The main army is right there with Flash. NaNiwa can actually do a lot of damage here. Flash was not looking at his army,
Oh gosh, how does NaNiwa choose what to defend? This is an extremely weird situation to be in right now. Flash is starting to do massive damage in the back of the main. He picks off the Templar Archive. Does NaNiwa go for the counterattack? Does Flash commit to the counterattack? NaNiwa barely on 2 mining bases. The Colossus tech now getting target fired. A couple Zealots warping in, and NaNiwa has decided it's time to go for it.
NaNiwa's lost both his forges, he's lost his Templar Archives, he's lost his Robotics Bay, but he has this army right there, which is almost unstoppable. Can Flash defeat this army? If not, NaNiwa will go 3-1 in this game. And now we see bunkers coming down. Flash knows how much trouble he's in. Flash is actually going for it on the natural. He's going to try and defend his main.
The ghosts. He has 8 ghosts out. That will rip apart all those High Templar in a matter of seconds. Does Flash see? Does Flash see? He starts to stun. He gets a lot of the Templar. Huge EMPs. No more energy left on any of those Colossus. Does NaNiwa care? No, he's continuing to charge forward. NaNiwa can warp in only in the main base. I don't even know if Flash has enough units in the main to hold off this force.
It's very, very close. There's a lot of bunkers, but there's only a handful of units. Nice pickup in the main base too with the medivac to lift the ghost on the other side of the force field. And NaNiwa, if he doesn't destroy Flash here, NaNiwa's in trouble. He's going to lose his natural. He has lost his natural. He's going to lose his third. And Flash remains strong inside his main base.
NaNiwa does have a lot of those Zealots down at the third base. A big storm in the main. Another excellent storm on all those SCVs. What a wild match. And now it looks like NaNiwa is just having a main base left to defend, charging forward with Zealots. It may come down to this straightforward elimination.
And Flash is going to enter the main base right now of NaNiwa, and there is not a lot here to defend, and NaNiwa's thrown everything into Flash's base. There's a couple of Zealots and a couple of High Templars in the main base of NaNiwa going to defend. That is it.
He tries to feed back everything. He's going to morph in the Archons. There's nothing left to heal, but there's the GG. Oh,
2-2.
A noticeable sigh of relief from Flash. Just an insane game. The huge counterattack coming down to 0.5 base versus 1 base.
Really, really close game there by those two players. Coming down to the final wire. And well, Flash draws it back to 2-2. Level playing field here, Day 9. Level playing field.
I mean, in your eyes, Diapollo, what went wrong for NaNiwa in that game after he set himself up so brilliantly?
He lost to the drops. He lost way too much to the drops. His army was out in the middle of the map. He was caught off guard in his main base. And then NaNiwa made a decision. In the game, he made it. He stuck by it. And I'm sure he would stick by it again if you watch the replay. He said, I'm not going back to defend with my army. I will go to him, considering he's dropped with 4 medivacs, 2 in the main, 2 on the third. I'm going to go for it. And he did, but didn't quite have enough to smash his way through Flash, but it was incredibly close.
Guys, we're going to be going to a break so that way we can get match 5 started as soon as possible. Don't go anywhere. This is NaNiwa versus Flash Extended Series to decide who will go to Championship Sunday in the top 6. An absolutely stunning game number 4 only ties the series up. Flash has 2 games to go. NaNiwa has 2 games to go. As we go into game number 5, I cannot tell you how excited I am to be casting this series of NaNiwa versus Flash.
Likewise, Day 9, as we load into Ohana, which is the next map of these two Titans. We had a great Series 1, Part 1 earlier today. Part 2 continues right now, right here.
Now, we have seen Flash fall back to the same build in every single circumstance. Will he do it again? Down in the bottom right, a player who not many have heard from in the last several months. He's been quietly practicing his heart out, and that practice is coming out in full form at MLG. It is none other than Myonyx NaNiwa.
And his opponent, spawning here in the northwest, is KT Flash.
You know, it's at a point like this when you just have to be so impressed with the way Flash is able to mutate his play to whatever situation he's in. A lot of people have a solid build like the opening Flash is doing. The really fast double reactor, the really fast medevac, great pressure play. We saw it outright kill Protosses like Grubby yesterday. But it's the fact that Flash can adapt. He saw NaNiwa go for that really fast third base, narrowly missed an opportunity to kill it off. And how did Flash respond? He was able to properly identify how to drop, when to drop, how to respond in this crazy base trade situation. And it's that kind of amazing decision-making that makes it a pleasure to watch Flash.
That is very true. And I love that he's opened up with blocking the main base again. I think this is very, very strong in the best of whatever series. Because if he hadn't, then we'd just be looking at a one barracks command center where NaNiwa would be the one playing games. Is he going to gateway rush him? Is he going to take it fast to the base? Is he going for Colossus push? But now Flash is the one controlling this, and we're seeing a refinery taken this time.
And even then, it's very cool to see the response that, oh, wow, a chrono-boosted Zealot before the Cybernetics core. Looks like NaNiwa is going to have a little bit of a metagame misplay, but only temporarily so. This will, in fact, force a bunker to pop up out of Flash. With this sort of timing, you can quite... Oh, Flash going for the once upon a time claimed to be extinct 2 barracks play. And this is going to turn out terribly for Flash when that chrono-boosted Zealot starts barreling down the front door.
He hadn't built a second Zealot, though, just with one.
Oh, wow.
He will be waiting for the Stalker this time, so we'll see. Is this Marine and SCV on the right-hand side? Flash looking to get some info. 2 barracks here is the opening choice for Flash, changing it up. We've seen CC first, we've seen gas first, we've seen barracks, then gas now. Flash has shown a variety of builds here against NaNiwa, and this is number 1.
It's just how NaNiwa scouts that is just so cool to me. It's with this attack-focused setup, and Flash is pretty much face-up at this point in time. It's very difficult to pin your opponent on anything else. This is where we start to see chrono boosts on the Cybernetics core, extra warp gates getting thrown down.
And this SCV is trying to get in there as the Stalker is meant to leave the base, but unfortunately the Stalker had stayed home today. And he's going to pick up a kill. A lazy Stalker gets paid off. Doesn't happen very often, but in this game it does.
Getting a little leery of the fact that we aren't seeing any extra gateways from NaNiwa there. 1 goes down and 2 goes down. There is no pylon by the natural expansion. NaNiwa needs to account for that very, very swiftly, or he's going to be in a world of hurt. He's going to have no nearby warp in. And there it looks like NaNiwa sees he needs to pull back. He needs to pull back. He hasn't pulled back the Zealot, and now he's just started to inch it back.
He saw the Marauder too, which tells a lot. And behind that, Day 9, we have a bit of a choo-choo SCV train coming down. A handful of SCVs. Flash is going to try and bunker that naturally, trying to bring down that Nexus. Is NaNiwa going to be thrown back to 1 base, or will he be able to mount a defense?
Well, he does have that pylon up by the right side of the map. Flash is going to have to commit to this hard, and I think NaNiwa may very well just allow him to do so. Uh-oh. This is a very difficult situation. NaNiwa has those proxy pylons set up.
I think NaNiwa's going to sack it and then just go for a counter-attack here. No, he's pulling probes. Is he going to go for it before the Nexus actually falls? He's going to try.
Oh, he's decided that now is the time. There's the Guardian Shield up. He does have the 3 Stalkers up. He's picking off a lot of SCVs. He might pull back with all the probes right now. Can he get it down? He does manage to pick off all the SCVs, but he is in a massively bad situation. Combat Shield is done on those Marines, and Guardian Shield is almost evaporated.
And Flash is going to go for the army here. He's going to micro back. There's more units coming in, and NaNiwa is going to save the Nexus by the looks of it. He needs some more units in there, but the Stalkers may be able to do enough. 3 Marauders versus 3 Stalkers in the Sentry.
Oh, there's no combat. Oh, no, he doesn't have Concussive Shell. NaNiwa is not going to lose anything to Micro at this point in time. It was pure muscle versus pure Micro, and NaNiwa has out-muscled Flash.
He has as well, but there are a couple more extra units coming in, but with more reinforcements, more Stalkers coming in, NaNiwa's going to push this back. Equal SCVs versus equal probes were lost, but NaNiwa has a natural Nexus. He's able to use the Chronobus. He's able to build 2 probes at a time, and this attack continues. NaNiwa with absolutely fantastic Micro, bringing the pain to Flash. Flash only just now throwing down that command center. And is NaNiwa just going to turn the tables? Is he going to turn the aggression over to Flash and look for a swift victory?
We don't have any probes in production.
I think he's going to try it. I think he's going to try
there's
it.
the Zealots moving on in. It's a flank. And Flash is in a terrible bit of trouble. He has only 2 gateways, target firing the weakened units. Flash doing an amazing job of picking off what he needs to. Will NaNiwa continue to press? It looks like Flash controlling things a little bit too well. NaNiwa will not be able to win with a simple counter.
He won't, and Flash pushes that back with a bunker on his natural. The game will continue as NaNiwa continues to probe or Chronobus into his Nexus. I'd hate to think that NaNiwa was probing anything here, day 9.
NaNiwa now continuing to just focus on economy. There's a pretty long window where if you're in NaNiwa's shoes, you are expecting a possible follow-up with Stim, but a pretty much impossible other set of things with that many SCVs down at the start of the game. Although it does take an incredible amount of practice and game sense to know what situation you're in, NaNiwa has the correct read. This is an unusual play. It's considered an outdated move, but the logic still works if the situation is right.
He's going to go for it.
Oh, holy crap. There's a pylon at the back.
He's going to go for it. He's got 5 sentries. He's got a bunch of Zealots. He's actually going to try and break this front door.
Well, this tactic does work very, very successfully when you know your opponent is fairly low on SCVs, fairly low on repair.
Oh, he sees the warp in. He sees the warp in.
He sees the warp in. The Zealots will have to engage. They're going to be pulling straight up. Flash can smell something going wrong. There's the force fields. Will he be able to take out this bunker? The Guardian Shields are not going to be enough. NaNiwa is misattacking here, but he is picking off yet more SCVs. And look at the economic situation we find ourselves in. 36 probes versus 25 SCVs.
Yeah, and usually I'd be saying, well, that really didn't work there for NaNiwa, and he's may have fallen a little bit behind, but because of the amount of SCVs that have gone down in this game, 18 have been killed by NaNiwa compared to 9 by Flash. And if you remember when that initial early attack came in, it was equal, and now NaNiwa's doubled it. But NaNiwa does not have tech. Stim is done. +1 is on the way. Medivac soon to be here as well. Can NaNiwa really use his probe count to bring the tech into this game that he can defend against a push that is on its way as soon as Medivac start to come out, and they are about to be here?
And there's the Stim done. It's the same push we see be so threatening in the previous games. The only thing that NaNiwa can really do is do photon cannon sentry defense at the front, and oh, interesting, going for Zealot leg. I just don't think it's going to be done in time, the Apollo.
It's a very close moment here. Flash could go up 3-2 with this very move. The factory's coming down as well. The Medivacs are so close to coming into this game. Is NaNiwa going to be able to hold on here? He's got 45 probes to 35 SCVs. The Templar Archives is coming down as well. Force fields have to be perfect. Any slip up and the game ends.
More cannons going down for NaNiwa, an unorthodox response, but you know NaNiwa knows exactly what he's doing. Still going to be an extremely tense situation. The Medivacs now making their way cross map. More gateways desperately being thrown down by NaNiwa. His production is extremely stilted at this point. He is about 30 supply behind. and he's been unable to make any probes. So NaNiwa is actually starting to lose the lead in the worker count.
All right, 20 supply lead here for Flash, testing the water with a Marine, saying, all right, how many units there? And he's going to try and come from the left-hand side. NaNiwa ready to force field down. There they are. He's not ready yet. Zealot charge is not ready. Armor's not ready. The 4 extra gateways are not ready. 2 more force fields need to come down. NaNiwa.
Where are they? Where are they?
Oh.
And he has to narrowly throws down the right amount. Templar now popping up to feedback. He gets 1 feedback. Can he get a second? Oh, he might end up losing that medevac. Another force field gets thrown down. More retreats by Flash.
NaNiwa seems to be able to hold on here, or hold on, as more force fields come down. Armor is almost done here.
Oh, NaNiwa supply blocked at 83 supply.
Oh no, that's a massive. He's got 1,000 minerals in the bank. This is actually disastrous. And Flash is going to be able to enter.
Oh, and there comes Flash up from both sides. Some nice feedbacks mean it's just the strength of these units alone. There will be no healing. And with those Guardian shields, it's going to be an extremely close fight. A stunning force field from NaNiwa means it's going to be a close toe-to-toe battle. NaNiwa closing the gap in food, but running low on force fields, and more importantly, running low on Guardian shields.
God, NaNiwa feeling the pressure there with that pylon block, and he found some time to squeeze in 2 extra pylons to increase his potential supply, but that, he went up to 1,200 resources there, but with no robo, no observer.
No robo, no observer, but look at this, Diapollo. Command center only just now starting. What a crazy turn of events. NaNiwa, does he have an answer? He does have the pylon there at the far right side of the map. NaNiwa, one of the best mini-map watchers in the business.
Let's find out, because he's going to have Eagle Eyes here, otherwise he's going to lose a lot on the back of his base. He's got a great defensive setup at the front. Flash is going to draw his attention to the front and just evacuate while dropping in the main base. Great move by Flash. He's going to come in at the back, and NaNiwa warps in, split second warp in. Absolutely perfect reaction from NaNiwa. That was great.
Stunning play. NaNiwa gets it, Diapollo. He knows exactly the moves that Flash is going to try to pull off, and this is the situation that is now going to make Flash the one on the back foot. Flash has only basic barracks unit. NaNiwa going for Zealot Archon against what? No ghosts? The perfect situation. Look at Flash's gas. Hardly enough to produce a single ghost. Flash desperately trying to add on more barracks. And here comes NaNiwa's counter push. He's caught. Oh no! The Speed Zealot, Stalker, Templar Force, the 2 Archons, everything in perfect condition. The only thing missing is a proxy pylon.
And NaNiwa's going to have to defend in his main base. 2 Zealots get in there with charge immediately. They're going to have to feed back an Archon to defend.
The double feedback, but Flash still posing an imminent threat there. The Zealots doing massive damage as they do have that +2 defense.
So many storms.
Oh no, the storm at the front. No!
Oh, Flash loses so much there to these +2 armored Zealots. Can Flash hold on? NaNiwa's fighting back with a terrible, terrible counterattack. And Flash this time may not be able to hold. He's building bunkers in the main base, and this is a fantastic attack. The SCVs.
Oh my God! NaNiwa is on point. The natural expansion under duress. NaNiwa tries to morph in yet more Templar. Will there be enough units? Flash being pulled every which way. Another fantastic storm at the front. I don't believe it, Diapollo. What an incredible display of skill.
Can't believe this game is actually happening right now as the Templar Archives manages to survive with a couple of hit points left in the main base as that medivac does get cleaned up, but the attack, the assault is still out there, and Flash is going to lose his third base if he's not careful. There are 3 storms available.
And it looks like NaNiwa knows that ghosts are few and far between, but there's the pylon at the bottom. Another warp-in's going to spell trouble for Flash. More storms planting down. NaNiwa, just the most incredibly stable play. Might be too much for Flash. NaNiwa is not expanding yet, but the probe planted there is hinting that it's just a few seconds away.
NaNiwa's defensive units that he had to warp in to defend against those 2 drops just turned into attack mode, and they are ready to go, and there's a lot of them. Is Flash going to be able to hold to his natural?
The ghost count is at 0, Diapollo. NaNiwa's warping right at the front lines as a 3rd expansion goes down.
If he force fields behind these units, NaNiwa could kill absolutely everything there. NaNiwa could do this right here with this attack. He's going to go for it.
He's moving up. The medevac's extremely low on energy. A back and forth aggressive match. Flash cut off. And it looks like a storm could occur at any time to rip up the remainder of the units. And there it is. Flash warping in as much as he can. NaNiwa with 6 Templar added down at the bottom pylon. Is there anything Flash can do? Can any amount of micro come back from this, Apollo?
I don't think so. NaNiwa kills the natural command center, and there are so many zealots with more and more units being warped in. Flash has no answer to NaNiwa at the moment. 2 ghosts come in with a slight EMP, but I don't think it matters now as there are a couple of storms available.
Oh
One goes
my
down.
God, NaNiwa with the cinch storm. The cinch play, ladies and gentlemen, this is StarCraft 2 at its finest.
And Flash moves out with a handful of units, but NaNiwa, his army supply is triple his opponent's, and NaNiwa comes in, says, yo, what's up? GG! 3-2, NaNiwa.
In an intense back and forth match, opened up with the 2 racks. NaNiwa looked like he was going to sack his natural, saves it with a clutch probe draw, and then NaNiwa tries to mount a counteroffensive. What does Flash do? Have perfect micromanagement, picking off all the units, and suddenly NaNiwa realizes he has 3 gateways, no tech, and Marine Marauder Medevac about to hit his front door, defends, holds on perfectly, spots the warp and drop, gets everything absolutely perfect, and with just brilliant control, brilliant warp and decision making, any mistake would have spelled doom. NaNiwa made none and brings the series to 3-2.
NaNiwa's had a very rough couple of months, there's no doubt about that, but right here, he's back. NaNiwa is back, and he's currently leading against Flash 3-2 in this extended series, 1 map away from becoming top 6 at MLG Dallas here. In 2012, he won it. In 2011, right here, magic happens for NaNiwa in Dallas, Day 9.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's go to the break as fast as humanly possible, because I cannot wait to get on to match number 6, where we will be at match point. NaNiwa 1 game away from the championship Sunday semifinals. Ladies and gentlemen, this is totally awesome. Literally every game in this series is among the best I have ever seen. Going all the way back to Flash vs NaNiwa Game 1 on Daybreak. An incredible defense by NaNiwa there as well. And then in Game 2, Flash showing incredible form. Game 3, NaNiwa with the brilliant one base all-in play, catching Flash off guard. The Metropolis, brilliant dropping by Flash. And then that game, I almost ran out of notes to keep climbing up.
This series has just been long, dramatic, and intense, and it will continue to be so as we are almost ready to get into the next map. It is going to be Antigua Shipyard, a map where Protoss players do have a bit of a hard time in the early stages of the game, dealing with drops, dealing with aggression. But NaNiwa currently one map. If he wins on Antigua Shipyard, he's top 6 here at MLG 2012, guaranteed at the Fall Championship. And as mentioned, he's had a rough couple of months, but he is back with full force, and he does it a lot. He does it a lot. He takes a bit of a rough hit, he goes underground, and then he comes back stronger than ever. Just
the most ridiculous dedication, playing 60 games a day, day after day after day, refusing to be easy on himself even once. Most people have a general sense of different categories of strategies, but, I mean, NaNiwa's treated him like Pokemon. He's collected every possible deviation in his strategy Rolodex, and it's like perfectly memorized in his brain. Think of how difficult it is in that last game to say, oh, you did a 2 racks play and brought 8 SCVs, and I killed all those, but I lost around 6 probes. What should I do now? I mean, that's just an outrageous, a wild situation. Terrans have a more comfortable route going for the medevac, but as Protoss, do you go Robo? Do you go Twilight? How do you defend that push? NaNiwa gets it.
NaNiwa gets it. And let's see if this guy can pull it back. Flash is ready. NaNiwa is also ready. So I suppose that means we can continue with this series as we're about to jump in. Just Flash has 1 second, as you can see on screen, just getting his headset back on. But this series is going to continue. We will have another game of potential, another couple of games, depending on how this goes. Let's begin the next map, Antigua Shipyard. Let's do this.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? We are at match point for NaNiwa versus Flash!
That's right.
Oh my God, that was such amazing play by both players last game. But you know, Antigua Shipyard, we have to talk about the fact that there is that lip right outside the natural expansion is the wide ramp entrance where you can drop the main and hit the natural, both with identical ease from Terran. It's a Protoss defensive nightmare, but if there's anyone who can do it, it's NaNiwa. D'Apollo, take us away with player intros.
All right, so spawning here on the left-hand side. This guy's one map away, just one map from becoming top 6. It is Meonix NaNiwa.
And in the top right corner has looked unbeatable, save for this series where he is still proving that he is one of the best players in the world. If you'd like him to win, give a cheer for KT's Flash.
A lot of support for both of these players here in the arena, in the heat of battle, as it continues on Antigua Shipyard. Well, let's find out how this is going to unfold, as we already see Flash building a supply depot on the ramp again to begin hiding what potentially could be coming NaNiwa's way, whether it's going to be a simple 1 barracks command center, a more complex 1 barracks triple command center, or if he's going to take a refinery early on to start to put aggression onto NaNiwa. Flash has got a bucket of experience in this kind of situation, and NaNiwa, look at this, with probes queued up, that only means one thing.
It's an early expand coming out of NaNiwa, and if you recall the semifinal series between NaNiwa and MVP over in the GSL, or perhaps it was round of 8, NaNiwa did this Nexus first opening and transitioned into a Twilight-focused play. A lot of Blink Stalkers, a lot of Speed Zealots, and then he began to exploit that lip. If you head on over to Flash's barracks, you can see just to the left the lip that we are referring to. Right where the natural expansion ramp heads down into the center of the map, you'll see that there's that ridge where Blink Stalkers can pop up into the main, or they can head up directly into the natural. And it's that area where Terran players love to drop so much, where the Blink Stalkers have their most potency.
Well, unfortunately for Flash in this game, he's got the wrong end of the build orders, because he's trying to play a couple of mind games. That's been his plan throughout this series. He's going to go for a slower command center. It's in the main base as well to be hidden. When NaNiwa says, well, from where I come from, I don't really care what you're doing, and I'm going Nexus first, then he's going to have a nice edge in terms of economy. He's going to have the double probes out faster, the extra chrono boost, and he's going to have a nice little edge going into the mid game. Compared to Flash, who is going to be playing a little bit slower than he would be if he'd opened up just regular.
You know, it's one of the most important skills as a caster is to make sure you don't blow your voice out, to conserve it through the weekend. And I'm literally having the hardest time not freaking out at every moment given how insane these games are. NaNiwa going for the 2-gate play, a very defensive play, but NaNiwa tends not to be just a purely defensive player. He will construct these 2 gateways and often do a quick swing. He's getting a Zealot out. That will bring him to just 1. Really go for any sort of double stalker play. There's 1 Chronode out. And it looks like no second one quite yet. He does have that probe patrolling the front, so NaNiwa's feeling quite comfortable.
Unfortunately for Flash right now, he's just scouted out the Nexus first, and I'm sure he's not feeling too happy about this either, considering he's 1 map away from elimination of this best-of-7 series. He would be knocked down, unfortunately, but, well, how is he going to react? That's the question that's on everyone's mind right now. He's scouted Nexus first, he's opened up with a slower command center. How is he actually going to pull this back?
NaNiwa now adding on his 2nd gas geyser. No tech revealed quite yet. NaNiwa just trying to sneak up into the main, gets spotted. But again, NaNiwa, a player very rarely scouts. Picks just the right time and generally syncs up attacks with it. In Flash's main, we see the exact build that has brought him the most success in this tournament.
The only reaction so far from Flash to this Nexus first is just going immediately for reactors there with no question on should he or should he not. He says, well, going Nexus first, I have no problem with defending. There's not going to be any aggression. I can go straight for reactors. So we will have a stronger force in the mid-game, but we start to see now NaNiwa's decision in terms of tech. It is going to be Robo down. I expect the follow-up to be 1 Forge and a Twilight Council from this, and most likely Blink. We haven't seen Blink from NaNiwa so far, really, but on a map like Antigua Shipyard, he knows that Flash knows that NaNiwa has an economy advantage, and I'm sure NaNiwa is going to be feeling like Flash has to do something about it, so we'll see if that's going to come true.
Yeah, I mean, you just have to get Blink. Otherwise, if you have this slow, clunky robotics force, even though the Colossus can climb up and down onto high and low ground, what, the Immortals, Zealots, Sentries, they just can't maneuver around enough. And the Medevacs and Stim Marines are supersonic, darting around everywhere, picking off any vulnerability. NaNiwa now going up to 4 gates. Kind of an interesting, precautious move from NaNiwa. I especially love the gateway placement. Look at how far away it is from that ridge, where the drops could occur.
Yeah, he's locked himself so tight on this left-hand side. Everything is an anticipation and ready for any form of aggression from Flash here. But still, the game is starting to unravel a little bit more now, as we see the first observer making its way across Flash now, getting up the Starfoot, getting ready for those Medivacs. We don't see Twilight Council coming down here. NaNiwa opted for 5 gateways down pretty fast, so he's going to have a lot more units. Not going to have Blink out so early on, but he will have a lot of units to defend, to have units split on the natural inside the main to get ready for anything that Flash tries. But there's the big amount of Marines. Look at how many Marines with those early reactors.
And nice little stim play from Flash, not trying to overstim, but NaNiwa's reaction is just a little bit too good. How will NaNiwa distribute his units? Often you'll see him right out to meet the Terran player right at the ramp. NaNiwa making certain not to get supply blocked, is going up to that 5 gateway count you alluded to earlier, Diapollo.
Indeed. And, well, NaNiwa spots it. He has an observer. Oh, well, not anymore. As that got picked off pretty fast, as Flash now looking for a way in. There's a large amount of units on the ground. The first Colossus almost out. It will be there very shortly. But the Medivacs are here, the factory to back it up as well, to give vision, to find out where NaNiwa is located. And Flash is going to try and make his first jab, his first stab here at NaNiwa, and let's see if NaNiwa is going to take any damage.
You know, even though those Marines are so good against gateway units and have such a ridiculous amount of damage output, it's very difficult to snipe Colossus with just Marines. So this does give NaNiwa a little bit of comfort here. There is the excellent set of force fields, and the Colossus starts ripping everything up, but that front line of Marines, oh my god, just does massive damage to that line of Zealots. Almost none left, but NaNiwa still holding strong. Flash is taking the 3rd base.
Uh-oh, that Colossus. NaNiwa, that's right, put it at the back now as Flash comes in, and Flash is going to do a lot of damage here. The second Colossus is not ready yet.
Oh no, Colossus number 2 is popping out. Flash is about to run headlong into a gigantic ground army. The Korean Terran has gotten a bit too overeager. Will Flash go for the drop play? Does he think he can actually deal the damage?
No, he thinks about it and then doesn't decide to pull it off. And NaNiwa has a third Colossus on the way now. Third command center down. NaNiwa sees it. He knows his opponent's expanding. NaNiwa with a double forge will want to get Blink to defend. As mentioned earlier on, he will try to take his third Nexus now that he knows that Flash is going to fall back and sit back for a little bit longer in this game. And Flash sets up a 3 medivac drop. And NaNiwa has units in the main base. If Flash loses units here, he's already lost quite a lot. If you look at the units lost tab, or actually, excuse me, we see NaNiwa losing a bit more there, but Flash is going to come in. NaNiwa has units in position.
Oh gosh, this is going to be the deciding moment. When NaNiwa chooses to move out. Oh no, NaNiwa pulling all of his stalkers away. Oh god, this is going to be a real devastating moment for NaNiwa if that medevac drop begins to plop right in the main base. We see more photon cannons being planted by NaNiwa, but they are not defending the far leftmost part of the map. Just the absolute edge. NaNiwa just needs a few units there to be able to defend, but he has literally none.
Yeah, this could be rough. Well, let's see what Flash is going to do to pull NaNiwa out of position here. And actually, looks like Flash is sending the medivacs home. It doesn't look like he's going to attempt it. He doesn't have anything there to pull NaNiwa out of position. He knows that NaNiwa is a good play. He will be set up with units around, or he thinks that's the case, but he looks like he is going to go back and join it with the forces at home. And 2-2 is on the way for Flash. Likewise, 2-2 a little bit faster here for NaNiwa. That is normal though.
You know, if you do look at the front of Flash's forces right now, he really had hardly anything back home. So this really is the conservative play. Again, it's Flash relying more on his basic fundamentals, his basic tactical decision making. And you always have to remember that aggression does come at a price. Every ounce, every dollar you dump into that aggression is money you're not spending on tech. No Ghost Academy yet. No Ghost Academy really needed quite right now, but uh-oh. Is the big drop about to pop into NaNiwa's main and start to cause mass havoc? The Blink Stalkers are rushing up. They will blink back to retreat, but it's going to be at just the wrong time. Oh no, the drop in the main. Now no Blink Stalkers can head up to defend. NaNiwa is going to lose these gateways, but he may very well lose his third base as well.
That's right. Looks like Flash has split NaNiwa really well here. It scans ahead of time, checking where the Colossus are, and Flash is going to go for it. He stims in, and again, the probes are going to fall immediately. And the Vikings have to remain alive here. Without Vikings, the Colossus will kill everything. And NaNiwa's coming in. Flash has to fight this, and he has to pull the Colossus down now.
Oh no, the Colossus doing huge amounts of damage. There's no medevacs here to retreat. In the main base, Flash is starting to lose his drop as well. Oh, NaNiwa is getting a huge advantage in this army. He has just ripped apart everything that Flash has. But at what cost, D'Apollo?
Yeah, it's a lot of probes that's been gone down at 28.
Oh gosh, and NaNiwa in production, just now finishing up Zealot speed.
And with that many probes lost, he actually can't afford to go up to Storm, he can't afford to build Templar, so, oh no, in the middle of the map now, Colossus fall down, and early Vikings do a lot there. And there's just gateway units remaining.
In this small numbers, Flash's army is absolutely perfect. This is the precise aggression that makes this style of play so effective, even though it's the 16-minute mark and Ghosts are just now getting potentially done. I mean, just absolutely just stunning amount of aggression from Flash. Do see that Flash is still massing up units at his front.
Yeah,
NaNiwa has started to slowly stabilize. He's adding on more gateways, but this is a really, really gross position to be in as NaNiwa. I mean, do you go for max? Is there any counter pressure you can put on?
I don't think so, not at the moment. He is on the back foot, down to 52 probes versus 68 and mules. And Flash has such an aggressive set of production facilities down. We have drops moving out now on the map. And Flash has his ghosts finally being built. It looks like he's just discovered what ghosts are in StarCraft 2. Well, they're going to come to good use in this series because he's going to need them. A couple of EMPs splashed across the army will melt what NaNiwa has. A very Zealot Archon heavy, and I don't think he's actually researched Storm yet. No, he hasn't. So let's see if NaNiwa is going to be able to fight this.
It looks like NaNiwa has decided that there is actually no long-term hope. He will not be going for any sort of long-term army. He is going for the Zealot Archon, hyper-efficient army, but hyper-vulnerable to these ghosts.
There's too many Marines. There's ghosts now in the mix. There's EMP. I really don't think NaNiwa can do this, and I don't think he thinks he can either. And it looks like we are going to see Flash continue to run for this. He knows that he can do this.
Wow, it looks like NaNiwa is trying to pull back Protoss to the watchtower, and there it is. Flash has gotten off some of those EMPs, and with the Zealots gone, there's really nothing that NaNiwa can do. He is forced to retreat. The amount of stim going down for Flash is absurd. Huge amount of hit points lost for this, but even so, the amount of medevacs is astounding for Flash.
Flash is too solid in this game. He set up himself with a good 30 SCV probe advantage and then carried it through with the production. His economy's been great. He has a large army, and he is going to clean this up, and he wants to play to another game. He wants to go to the final map, and he wants to right now.
It couldn't have been a better ending. Flash with a near flawless execution of non-stop drop Viking aggression has broken the front despite NaNiwa's best attempts. We are going on to Game 7 between NaNiwa and Flash.
It keeps on going on. The series will end on the final map.
Tal'Darim Altar.
What a final destination to end this series on here, Day 9. An explosive map, and Flash knows it.
I mean, this is going to be a very difficult map, I think, for NaNiwa to even get anywhere cross map towards Flash's base.
Yeah.
The distances on Tal'Darim Altar are the largest on the entire map pool. At the same time, though, everything that Flash has been doing up to this point has been reliant on having a ramp. There's no ramp on Tal'Darim Altar. A lot of the early aggression that NaNiwa's been holding back, he can start to bust out.
Yeah, we could see some old school builds coming out on an old school map such as Reactor Hellion. Used to be very strong on this map back in the day because of the lack of ramp, but does Flash know about these things because he has not played StarCraft 2 for that long? Is he going to know these older builds? Time will tell as we are minutes away from this actual final game.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's step away to break so we can get into game number 7 as quickly as possible. This is MLG Dallas 2012, and one of the most epic series of MLG history is going to conclude after this. The countdown has begun. NaNiwa versus Flash, game number 7, starting right now on Tal'Darim Altar.
It is indeed starting.
I honestly cannot believe it comes all down to this, Apollo. A final Game 7. It's going to be close positions on a map that we haven't seen in quite some time. This is a position that is absolutely perfect for Colossus counterattacks. It reminds me of the original TSL between Thorzane and NaNiwa. Can NaNiwa pull it off in this match? Spawning down in the bottom left corner. After a series of incredible games, he is one game away from the top 6 at MLG. It is NaNiwa.
And his opponent, as simple as I want it to be, the ultimate weapon, KT Flash. And these positions, Day 9, these positions, as you can see, there are no rocks on this third base. There's a recent change made to the map. And we have a proxy barracks. Flash, KT Flash is doing it.
Oh my God.
Double 11 barracks in the center of the map.
This is what MVP did against Squirtle in GSL Finals game number 7. A risky play, almost banks on the hope that your opponent is going to be going for some kind of early expand, and it looks like that's what NaNiwa's doing. No gas yet.
NaNiwa will not have any stalkers to defend this. He's going for his gateway into Nexus. Flash may have just read NaNiwa like a book and knew exactly what to do on the final map. NaNiwa plants his Nexus down.
Oh, the Nexus is down.
And little does he know what awaits him. Let's see where he's going to scout first. Does he go north or does he go east? Eventually, when he scouts out, that's going to be a big story to tell. The pro believes.
Is he going cross map?
He's going send.
He's going to the right. He sees the SCB. The SCB's coming from the center of the map. But did NaNiwa see that angle?
He's going
skirting
east.
Around the watchtower. Will he take a quick pit stop? No.
He will get the fastest reaction time. NaNiwa.
Oh no, NaNiwa. He spots the Marine. NaNiwa knows exactly what he's up against. He is on the ropes. Flash has a single bunker under construction. Will NaNiwa be able to spot it in time? The probe is trying to retreat. NaNiwa will be forced to cancel.
There's a bunker that he doesn't see. It's not in his vision right now. He has no idea it's even there.
Oh gosh, Flash with the perfect answer. NaNiwa in so much trouble. NaNiwa about to be supply blocked even.
Oh, dearie me. NaNiwa's in a bunch of trouble. The SCVs are here. The bunker completing the second bunker is going to go down. NaNiwa may lose to this 11-11 proxy barracks. Bunker rush from Flash. Is Flash going to be top 6 here at MLG? Is he going to do it? Day 9, the Cybercore's going down, which means no more stalkers.
And here comes all the probes pulling back. Can he pick off the SCV that is constructing the barracks? He is going for it, but that SCV is now trapped. NaNiwa has absolutely everything in this force. The SCVs are starting to evaporate for NaNiwa, but a few more seconds of construction means that that bunker will be done. NaNiwa is going to try his best, try his damnedest to defend it, but right now in the main base of Flash, our 6 SCVs, the economic lead still is in the favor of NaNiwa. NaNiwa is guaranteed to lose these gateways, though. He desperately needs to chrono boost out more and more stalkers.
One gateway goes down. He will get a third stalker. I doubt he's going to get a fourth one. The Cybercore shall fall. 3 stalkers, that is all NaNiwa has. The third one shall pop. Can he do it? Can he micro his way out of this situation?
Right now, NaNiwa. NaNiwa's taking some pretty serious hits. It's going to be close. The Zealot will not finish. And there, nothing but Marines going up against those probes. NaNiwa trying to pull back.
The Stalkers have seen so much damage. He's going to do it. Looking at the down of red health. The Marines, oh my god, NaNiwa's in so much trouble. Flash may have done it here. The Stalker's going to be targeted down at any second.
Every type of build used in every single game. Flash.
One
is going to do it. Flash picks off the remaining probe, starting it down 1-2. Flash has done the comeback.
Flash has done it. Flash is top 6 here at the full championship. A minimum top 6 finish in one of the most historic best of whatever series Oh my god. Day 9, what a finale to that best of 7 series. Flash has done it. Flash is a minimum of top 6.
There is your champion, Flash. He has won this epic best of 7 extended series. He will advance to championship Sunday in the winner's bracket semifinals, a few matches away from the grand championship. So many people had such high expectations for Flash, and he delivered. But you gotta give credit to NaNiwa. He has proven that he is one of the scariest opponents. He will go to the lower bracket of the Championship Sunday tournament, where whomever goes up to face him is in for an incredible uphill battle.
That is right. NaNiwa has done really well so far, and he has a big day ahead of him tomorrow. Flash, though, gets his revenge on NaNiwa, going down 2-1 initially, and then comes back to win 4-3 right at the end. And Flash is the first player to go top 6 here at the MLG Floor Championship. And day 9, this is just day 2.
You know, I don't know how else to put it. That is the finest display of skill I have ever seen in StarCraft 2 history. In each individual game, crazy mind tricks, phenomenal control, brilliant responses, everything you'd want out of each player, and varied builds. Cheese in the final match, opening the series up with a proxy Hellion drop, and NaNiwa, resilient, brilliant watching of the mini-map, just the greatest PvT series I have ever seen.
That was absolutely fantastic. And guess what, guys? It is time for an interview with Flash. Clutch, take it away.
Thank you, gentlemen. KT roster Flash. One of the greatest series we have ever seen at a Major League Gaming event. You have had a history with NaNiwa. In the MVP tournament, you split. And at this event, you lost the first series, but then won in the extended series. What were your thoughts after the first series, losing and then coming into this series?
나니와 선수랑 MVP 때 1대1로 비등하게 갔고 그 다음에 그 이후로 이번 대회에서 1차전을 2대1로 패하고 그 다음에 다시 역전해서 4대3으로 이기고 지금 기분은 어떤 것 같아요? 그거에 관련해서는 나니와랑
일단 오늘 굉장히 힘들 줄 알았는데 역시나 7차전까지 가서 굉장히 힘들었고요. 그래도 다행히 나니와 선수가 잘하는데 오늘 운이 굉장히 좋았던 것 같아요.
I knew it's gonna be a tough match today, but I tried my best, and also at the end I had the luck, so I could beat NaNiwa. I knew NaNiwa was a great player.
NaNiwa was a great player. He is a great player. We saw some incredible play. Let's give it up for NaNiwa once more. What inspired you to choose that play for the last map?
왜 마지막에 그 빌드를 쓴 이유가 있었나요?
상대가 마지막 그러니까 생렉을 할 것 같아가지고 상대 전략이 예상을 했는데 그게 적중했어요.
I knew NaNiwa was gonna go fast expansion, so I took that build.
Well, we saw the result. My last question for you. You've performed so well. You've impressed everybody here. What would you like to say to your fans here in Dallas and around the world?
이번에 MLG 대회에 이제 출전해서 번외 경기가 아닌 실질적인 경기를 출전해서 지금 너무 잘하고 있어요. 승자조로 진출을 했고 마지막으로 팬들 여기 해외 팬들에게 한마디 해주세요.
일단 약속 지킨 것 같아서 굉장히 기쁘고요. 실력으로 다시 MLG 온다고 했는데 요번에 쭉쭉 올라가가지고 우승에 한번 도전하도록 하겠습니다.
I gave my word to the fans that I will come back when I'm ready to face against the world, and I feel like I made that promise, and I'll try my best to go up in the final.
Ladies and gentlemen, Flash. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you, Clutch. Just a stunning, stunning series. I'm still speechless. And it's so great to emphasize that we're still not done with day 2 here at MLG Dallas.
Still more games to come, guys. And that is an excellent... I am absolutely speechless, breathless after that series, day 9. I had a lot of fun casting it with you.
It was a pleasure, Apollo.
More games to come.
And it was a pleasure having you tune in to be part of an epic moment of esports history. Don't go anywhere. Many more matches to come here at MLG Dallas. Stay tuned and have a blast.